Hello, Toddbog here with Breaking the Stream, and welcome to a new Let's Play of Conquest of Elysium 5. If you haven't watched it, my last playthrough was as the Troll King, and that was actually quite fun. We kind of demonstrated what you're looking for as the Troll King, everything that it can do, and a lot of the pitfalls you have to avoid when you're fighting as the Troll King. So definitely check it out if you haven't. I had a lot of fun with it, and I think you'll learn a lot if you haven't seen that. But we're going to start a new one here, and let's see, checking my list here. I created a Google Doc to see what's left. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we got 7 classes left to play. So I figured for a taste of something different, we're going to go with the Senator class today. As always, this will be a beginner-friendly playthrough and played to completion. So we'll do our usual settings, a large map. We're going to do a random society. When you play as the Senator, you're really benefiting, it's beneficial to do an Empire, Fallen Empire, or Dawn of the New Empire. As those will all have a capital, which is one of the special abilities you have, is the ability to crown yourself emperor, but you can only do it in the Empire-related societies. We're going to do random just to give us a possible challenge there, and we'll see what happens with that. Otherwise, we do our usual, which is 6 AI at count difficulty, which means they get double what we get for the same stuff. And we're going to go ahead and take a look at the Senator. So. Big description here. Essentially, think Romans. You're going to be a lot of your stuff is Roman influenced for sure. And as a benefit of being this class, you don't get a lot of choices beyond regular humans, and they're all just slight variations of each other. But you do get a 50% increase to golden trade, so you're going to get lots of them. You're going to have swarms. You can get watchtowers as citadels, which are the wooden structures. So that's a nice little benefit. You receive free units from guard towers and watchtowers, so that's a new thing they added. Augurs are fantastic because they allow you to scout without having to move. Revelers can bring forth satyrs and maenads from ancient forests, so if you get a reveler and you get them into an ancient forest, you'll start getting free troops from there. You can proclaim yourself emperor if you conquer the capital, and you get more wizard mercenaries even without having a magic library. So all of those are beneficial. The one thing you're going to have problems with is you're going to need all the mages you can get against certain classes, so we'll see if that comes up. And then we're going to click the unique so that nobody is duplicated. Gives us a better chance at some of the Easter egg classes out there, like the Beholder King or the Archmage. So we'll see if we get any of them in this one. Alright, so neat little start here. We got ourselves a deer. We'll probably end up taking my town and stuff. But anyways, let's take a quick peek at our troops. So this is me. I'm the Senator. I am completely worthless in combat. My only purpose is as a leader, so I can move troops around as necessary. I'm not going to contribute in any way, but this coronation. So I'll need 600 gold. I need to be standing on the capital, and then I click this button, and all that gold will go away, and then I turn into an emperor, and the emperor is pretty cool. So we'll try and show that off if that's available in this. Terentius is our captain, our centurion, sorry. He's got 8 hit points, armor, and damage. So these are the things you're looking at. Hit points, obviously, what you need to live. Armor, every point of armor reduces damage received by that amount. So in this case, he takes 1 less damage from every attack, and he does 1 to 5 himself. So troop-wise, let's see. Let's go ahead and just get everybody up here. We've got, as you can see, Roman-inspired troops. And a lot of them look similar, but they're just slightly different. So we'll start with our elite troops with a little bit of red on the top there. This is Principes. They are javelin-wielding, short sword-wielding guys here. But they get this really big shield. So their armor is 1. However, they block another 0 to 2, so that's randomized, or 0 to 4 against ranged attacks. So that's a fantastic protection. So that'll keep them alive a lot longer than troops that have normal shields. So this is definitely a quality thing. The javelin is a one-time use, ranged attack, so they'll run up, they'll shoot their javelins out, or in this case, throw their javelins out, and then lock into combat like normal, and you'll see that when we get to combat. So pretty quality troop. Just a step below, 1 less hit point and 1 less damage on the short sword is the Hastade, and this will probably be our mainstay. We're going to probably recruit these in droves until we get access to large amounts of iron. It's got a large shield and the armor just like before. Javelin and short sword just does 1 less damage. Speaking of which, I'll go back to this. When it says +1, it isn't adding 1 to the roll. It's adding 1 to the maximum. So there's always a chance of rolling 1 damage on any attack. However, this is 1 to 6 now instead of 1 to 5. And there's a reason they do that. Well, we'll show that off when it comes up. Then the step below is the step below the Hastade is the Vele. These ones I won't be recruiting unless we're absolutely desperate and have just enough gold for them, because they have even less hit points, no armor. The small shield, as you can see, does half the effectiveness, and they're doing 1 to 4 instead of 1 to 5. So not much of a difference between the two. So I would always save, unless again you need an absolute vital recruit at a tough time. So that's what we have recruit wise. We can recruit the Triarius as well. Excuse me. Triarius are great because they have extra armor. So they're 2 armor, 9 hit points, extra hit point, same shield, but they have this slow trait. And with that, that means that moving around on the world map is going to be problematic. So we're not going to build them until we're ready to build a siege force. And even then, I still debate whether it would be worth it or not because of the iron costs. However, they do have this special trait long, which means they can attack from a rank back. So normally melee, you have to be adjacent to the enemy. Those guys can be 1 space back and still attack. So it gives you 2 ranks of melee attacks if you have a rank of them behind a rank of anybody else, rather than just a single one. So that's pretty good. Ballistas are fantastic, and once we start building these are also slow. So the Triarius could keep up with them without slowing anybody down. And they're used for siege combat. They do massive damage. They're the only siege machine that can actually fire in regular combat as well, which is fantastic. And we'll show that off more. Just know that they'll fire every 4 rounds. So, and then standard single guy for 20 gold. Same as your upgrade, your Precepe, but he's got the local leadership, which grants a morale bonus. So it could be useful in certain situations. And occasionally when we have buckets of extra gold, we'll probably just end up taking them. So we start with a fairly large force. I showed off all the powers here. I want to set my trade. I knew there was something I wanted to do. So we're going to buy iron. So with 2 trade, we have 2 gold worth of resources we can buy. Iron is 1 gold per. So we're going to spend 2 of our gold each round, and we're going to get 2 iron for that trouble. But we're going to go attack this gold stream. Dwarves are pretty hardy. They hit for a lot of damage. As you can see, 1 to 8. They also have 2 armor base, so they take less damage. However, they don't have a lot of hit points. This guy does because he's the captain, commander. So he's going to be a little tougher to kill, but I think we'll be A-okay. We also have the Arboles, one of the better archers in the game. Best in terms of a single round output. He does 1 to 10 damage, which is twice as much as Crossbows and 3 times as much as a regular archer. But his range is 7, which is 2 more than those 2 as well. But he only fires every 3 rounds. So great against armored targets because you'll be able to punch through pretty well. But it'll take you a while, and they also slow you down as well. So, but we don't have to worry about that because we're not recruiting them. So in this case, though, I think we'll be A-okay. So let's go ahead and just crush that. That'll take... so if you look in the world map, you hit I on any square. It'll tell you everything. Mountains cost you 3 movement. So as you see, we had 3 pips. So those 3 pips are all used up. If you're slow, then you only use 2 pips. You can only use 2 pips. And then if you move on to something that requires 3, then the next round, instead of having 2 pips, you'll have 1 pip left. So it does tax you for your next round. So you can always move once you have some action points, but then you'll have to wait to regain them. So anyways, so yeah, we're going to attack here, and we'll see what happens. So this is our battle. It's going to go basically round by round. We're going to move and then try and attack if we're in range. So we moved, we attacked. Now we're throwing our javelins for anybody in range. And then as you can see, the damage is done. And then the next step is we move up, and we're going to attack in melee. And I'm going to speed this up here a little, so you can see that in action there. And we basically eliminated them by losing a Vele and a Hastade. So not bad at all. I got some special recruits, so we'll show that off as well. But now we got a gold stream, so our gold is just so much better now. It's great. Remember, we're getting 50% more, so even though it says 4, it's actually 6 being added. So, yep, that is good. All right. So now we got an ogre and chiefs. They just have a lot of hit points, no armor, so they're going to die pretty quick. But they do 1 to 15 damage in a sweep. So if they kill one target, the remaining damage will hit the next target. So But with our shields, I'm not worried about it. And then he's just the commander version, and he's identical to them. So, and this will give us iron as well as a gold. So let's go ahead and do that. So let's show you some of the special recruits here. So Centurion, you know, Agrippo the Leo has a special where he allows you to get Principe Solaris. They're basically fire-resistant Principes, so those are pretty cool. He also has a magic. He's a caster, which is really cool. So we definitely want to get one of them if we can. The Augur I would love to get, but we can't right now. The Scout would be good, and the Archers would be good. This is the only way for you to get ranged attacks other than Javelins. So you'll always want to try and get the Archers whenever you see them. But this time, I'm not going to spend the gold on the Scout because we need to get something to defend home. Battle in a coal mine. And we should have taken, a couple casualties again. But that doesn't affect us that much because we're already at another recruit. Okay, so we've got a Reveler, which could be useful, but we don't have any place to use them right now. A Renata is a caster, and Renata will be important if we decide to declare Emperor. I'll explain that later. Gladiators and Triarius, whenever you can recruit them, you'll get both as an option. And they're 25 gold for each, so for 50 gold you'll get 4 troops. But they're pretty good. They've got 1 armor, and as you can see, gladiators hit for 1 to 7 damage twice, so they do a lot of damage. They will die a little quicker though because they're not as protected. And then these guys do a little less damage, but they have this net, which can be useful because it essentially will attack, and if it hits, the enemy will be stuck and needs to break out of that before they can attack, or before they can move or do any actions again. So yeah, those are pretty cool. Gonna get the Archers though, because the Archers can now defend our walls, and that should hold off deer and other assorted wildlife. Alright, what do you got? 9 units. He does Spiritism level 1, so that's going to cast maybe summoning spirits or do fear and things like that, but we should be able to crush him with our numbers. And that way he doesn't bother us anymore. Okay, so we're going to view that again because I want to show off. So he had Call Ancestor, which summons a spirit. And then he has Banish Spirit, which didn't help him at all in this particular case. So we're going to speed it up. I'm going to let you see that he summoned this Ancestral Warrior. So it does 1 to 6 magic damage, which can be useful against targets that are immune to non-magical damage. And then it has Ethereal. So normally you hit 100% of the time. Whether you do damage is based on armor and other things, and your roll, of course. This right here means 3 out of 4 times, no matter what, you're going to miss. So Ethereal is a very good protection against certain classes for sure, and it really does up your ability to survive. So we are taking some decimation to our ranks, but okay, what do we have here? Soul Torn, probably more. So that special color means it's a Voidborn. You got to be very careful with those. We're going to come this way. Ooh, too bad it's got a Pyromancer. Pyromancers have the most dangerous magic, especially early game, so we're not going to be able to take that for a while. But when we can, we'll get a Fisherman's Trident, which will give us a net ability, just like our Triarius gets. So, all right. And, yep, just in turn. Those dwarves are probably going to take that mine because they prefer them. Nope, they moved away from the mine, so that's good. So these are Dwarf Workers. These are the core base dwarf unit, if you ever play dwarves. These are what they need in order to turn into better troops. They still hit hard. 1 to 7 damage is fantastic for these guys. But they have no armor and no shields, so they usually melt to anything in numbers. But right now they're dangerous enough because we don't have the numbers to mitigate a lot of that by killing them before they hit us. So they'll do damage back. That we will take, though, next turn. Oop, wrong button. 37 gold, so we should be able to hire next round. Triarius, Centurion. Okay. So, yep, you just keep dancing around there, but let's see. We're going to go with the Principe because I need... oh no. Sorry, Hastade. That's what we're going for. Hastade, because we need those in order to get some survivability again. So you'll notice my gold has dropped to 12. So if you ever want to know what's happening, you can see here. Snow, when it comes, will have your output and anything in the snow, with the exception of any mine type activity. So coal mines, gold streams, and such. So my town is getting half. The outpost is giving half. And then, so yeah, we're getting 12 gold instead. But ooh, ancient forest, only 2 deer there. So that's fantastic. We can get a reveler going. That'll be fantastic too. So we'll see. All right, so as you can see here, we just destroyed them all. 5 archers for 50 gold. Don't have it, unfortunately. So, all right, we don't want to attack it for now because, as you can see, that takes 4 movement because of the snow. Snow adds 1 to every movement, and right now it's not going to help us. This will, though, but we do not want to go against crossbows. So crossbows do 1 to 5 damage, like I mentioned before, but only every other round. Again, better for armor piercing because your regular archer only does 1 to 3 every round, which is great against unarmored targets. So they have their benefits. Centurion, Augur, don't have the gold for any of that, unfortunately. Yeah, we can't do anything because we stepped on a mountain in the snow. Wasn't our brightest move, but hey, what are you going to do? All right. So there's a castle, so that means we are in an age that cannot declare emperor. That's a shame, but not the end of the world. I have demonstrated what the emperor does, and I've even done the dark emperor version, which is also pretty interesting. So if you're interested in checking those out, definitely check them out. They were for Conquest of Elysium 4, but they do demonstrate pretty well what your benefits are. So another set of barbarians. 20 pikeneers. So when you own a town, I'll show that in the recruit screen. Towns are counted here, so and that includes towns and cities. They use the city sprite here for it, but they give you a increased chance to recruit mercenaries and get magic items. So the pikeneer represent a recruit for mercenaries. So this is actually a discount. It usually is. Over their normal price because there's no iron cost, and then they're normally 50 gold per 5, so you save 14 gold and all the iron, and you can get them all in one good chunk and still do your normal recruit, which is great. But we don't have the gold for it, and so we'll go with this instead because I need him to basically get up there. So let's see. What do you got? Swordsman and 2 crossbow. Let's take this tower. I think we can do that. You can just move out. We're going to move here. We're going to take a chance. And then this army is going to come back, and we're going to clear out this ancient forest so I can show off what Cato can do, which is incite revelry. And then this is a shrine dedicated to Lar the land. Lars are beneficial rule spirits who bless and protect farmlands and household. Will receive increased income, as well as the aid of large brigands or hostile beasts attack. Interesting. We don't own any farms yet, so we'll have to figure that one out later. But that's cool. That is a new power as well, so compared to 4. Okay, so we'll watch that again just to show you what happened here. So essentially we have to break through this door. It's got armor 3, so it takes a while to break through. And their archers are just hitting us in the meantime. Luckily we have large shields, so as you can see we're ignoring a lot of the shots. But now we get to the swordsman who hits for 1 to 6. And for some reason he just got really lucky. And they murdered a number of our guys, so we lost 4 guys. But we did end up taking this. So this is now a citadel, so it can recruit troops, which is useful. And then we should get free troops from this, according to the description, which is something new. So that's cool. Unfortunately, we don't have the gold to recruit right now. I should have taken those troops with us, huh? Oh, well. Okay. Definitely not attacking here. This we don't want to fight. It's just a swarm of insects called Creeping Doom. But it has, let's see, fire vulnerable. It's invulnerable. Cannot be harmed by slash, pierce, or blunt weapons. So you have to use magic of some sort in order to kill it. It doesn't matter if they're magical or non-magical, basically because it's a swarm of insects, just not very effective to stab it with a spear or slash it with a sword, right? So you'll need some other ability to kill those things. Bumper Harvest, all right. Hedge Wizard, Hero, Scout. All right, we want to go around. Our best bet is to go through this forest here, shall we? All right, in turn. 10 Hastati. So that's another thing you'll see is a special recruit for more at a discount, which is specific to them. But that does count as your recruit for the turn. So that is a fantastic value, as you can see. Only 20 gold more, same amount of iron, gives you twice as many, but we're just short. We don't want anything here. I'm going to save gold in case we can get some sort of special recruit, and then we'll be able to do that. We're going to get this forest, though, for sure. Okay, Leo. Ooh, that's a good one. That may be worth it. We'll do this. Hopefully they don't have a bunch of hidden troops, because they do have things that have forest stealth. Let's get ourselves the Leo. This allows us to have a leader. He has Sunlight, which he casts for 1 to 3 damage and a burst of 1. Also can cause blindness at a range of 8. And then Aura of the Sun gives Awe, which means that in order to attack him, you have to pass a morale check. So that's pretty cool. And then we'll be able to get the Solaris here, which will be, I think, as a special recruit, not a regular recruit, but they'll show up occasionally. So, all right, Battle in the Ancient Forest, just 2 deer, perfect, nice and easy. All right, so Cato, let's go ahead and incite some revelry, shall we? So now, as you see, it has the it doesn't show it there. Incite revelry at the bottom. That means now it's just going to start randomly generating some armies that we won't have control over, but they'll just go out and just start exploring and destroying the world. So 7 wolves. I should probably take out the 7 wolves. Yeah, let's do that. I don't want to go any further north if I can avoid it, but we'll chill here. And assuming that Swan doesn't do something stupid, we should be good. It did not. Good. So now we have 4 Maenads here. So they're not very strong. 1 to 3 damage, 6 hit points. They do Berserk, so if they take a point of damage and survive, then they will get a bonus to their strength, so they'll do 1 extra damage, and they'll fight until they reach negative hit points. So they are this stupid trait, which means they cannot be controlled to move on their own, so they're going to do that. You guys are stuck there for a turn. There's the deer again. Let's do an explore here, and we can kill ourselves a couple slingers there. So when they're AI like this, they will only move 1 square a turn, so you don't have to worry about them taking over like your home or anything like that if they're not right next to you. Excellent, they took care of that. When Sorceress, that's a new thing. We'll take a look at what that is. Alright, so we killed those, We now have some Satyr Revelers. These guys are a little stronger because they have the 2 attacks. And then they also Berserk, a little extra in the hit points as well. They're forest stealthy as well, so they can hide in the forest. Yes, please. I want that iron mine. Let's see, what's the best way to get there? I guess this way. Alright. We'll take this. We'll probably end up taking that as well. I'm just being careful to stay near home. Oh, see, we got 2 free Velles so far in here. They've been spawning in slowly. So we don't have to worry about defending that now. Against the random animals anyways. Oh, but the bandits. Yeah, bandits. Silly, silly bandits. Okay, well. Spoke too soon, but that's alright. The snow will slow us down, but it's worth it for 2 extra gold. Ancient Temple. That'll allow us to get priest types. Definitely do not want to go against the unknown priest right now. I mean, we probably can take it, but I don't know if that is all they have, because I don't have a scout. There can be hidden units there. Jeez. You just keep losing, like, just bits and pieces here and there. 5 archers. Definitely need that. There's only one place to recruit them here. So we'll grab them there. So our first opponent's area has shown up. We're going to take that when we can. Because I want to use that special ability. Giant moose and 6 moose. Yeah, definitely not going to attack that. Because they will destroy us. I'll show you why later. We will eventually attack it, but... Alright. Battle in an iron mine. Okay. So this right here is kind of neat. It does acid damage, which is one of the few channels that doesn't get a lot of resistances. So acid is a pretty good damage channel. They have 42 hit points, no armor, but they do have this acid blood. So if you attack it, you're going to take damage, just like the aliens from Aliens, if that makes sense. So that's kind of cool. It's pierce and blunt resistance, so it takes half damage from those channels. And it has an ability to... Let's see, is this the one? No. Split. There you go. So it has a chance that every time it takes damage, it could split into smaller versions of itself. So we didn't kill it, but that's cool. All right, let's work our way back because we're taking a lot of casualties. The snow's slowing us down, of course, but that's all right. Let's go ahead and transfer up those archers. We're going to chill there for now. A Renatu and a Centurion, both a little too rich for my blood. So we won't do anything to this. So, yep, just killed them. But as you can see, we're just getting free troops out of here, and they're coming out and exploring. They're attacking. Sometimes they'll win. Most of the times they'll lose, but you can at least get something out of it. We're going to go ahead and grab... The Renatus is really cool. He's got Hades immunity, other planar immortality. So this is cool. If he dies, he'll actually return back where you bought him. I think, right? Oh, no. He returns to Hades, I think. So he won't die permanently unless he dies in the plane of existence that he's in, which is Hades. So, or he's from, I should say. So that's kind of a neat thing. We're going to save the gold because we'll be able to use it fairly quickly if need be. You guys will get here because together with this army, we would be able to ambush and kill these dwarves finally before they steal anything of mine. 5 archers. Beautiful. Let's get those. Alright. So, yeah. Just go ahead and crash into that. Crash in. And now we've got ourselves a fairly solid army. So, archers are going to do a lot of damage before then. And the javelins and our attacks will then be sufficient. That's not good. Alright. So... Okay, so we get Augur. Augur would probably be useful. So what we saw there was a different class that was the Bakamano player, and they get access to some specialty troop types that can be problematic for us for sure, and a lot of magic as well. So we're going to have to counter with magic, unfortunately. Big thing they get are what do you call those? The big thing they get are the Tengu. There you go. Because they have a ranged attack that hits up to 3 people and stuns. And they can do that from a good range. So they're definitely a dangerous thing for sure. And so we have to be very careful of them. Augur, I think, is the better choice here. Just because it's more useful. The Ice Druid's cool, but the Augur acts as a scout as well. So this is our Augur. It's got Farsight, so it can see further on the world map. And then it's got Acute Senses, so it can see stealthy units. Really cool combination. More importantly, though, the Augur can go ahead and scry. It costs 3 gold. And basically you choose a spot. And basically you get full view of that spot. So we can see this is kind of where they came from and everything like that. It does take all your action points, all 3. But you start getting a few of them and you can just start scouting the world. If you know an enemy army somewhere nearby, you can start using it for that as well to make sure you're in the right spot and everything. So fantastic little bonus. Like if I want to see that army, which I probably do at this point. That was a warlock. The warlock just took my stuff, didn't he? He took my farm. Okay, not the end of the world. Warlock's a water warlock. It's got water elementals. These guys are just resistant, so they take half damage from all channels. But otherwise, they do attack twice, which is pretty good, and stun. So, definitely an interesting balancing act there. Okay, let's go ahead and scry ourselves. As much as I want to scry new stuff, I need to figure out what's in this army. Not bad. Kurado level 2 magic can be very problematic, but these guys are trashed here. 4 hit points, no armor, no shields, and they do 1 to 3 damage. So they're doing half the damage our guys are doing for the most part. So we might want to chase him down, which I think we do. Let's do that. Because right now he's vulnerable. And between our troops and archers, and of course a little bit of spellcasting on top, we should be able to destroy him. The warlock, on the other hand, would be a much tougher proposition, so he's going to be taking our stuff for a little bit. So 20 units. Yeah, let's do it. Check that. Standard scout. We're good for now, so let's go ahead and just hit the scry button. And let's scry out this way and see if we're... Okay, nothing there. But yeah, it costs us 3 gold a turn, so it can get pricey if you start getting a number of them. But since you get so much extra gold, it's usually not a problem. Alright, so what does he got? Thunderhead, that's not good. 3 strikes at 1 to 12 damage, which does 1 damage to everybody near them, and it ignores all armor. But it's slow to cast, so you can only cast it every other round, but that can be big. Plague, that sucks. That one diseases you, and if you're diseased, then you'll slowly die, and you won't be able to do anything about that. Well, let's just see what he does. He's going to cast Plague. Nope, keep doing the lightning bolts, dude. Yeah, okay. Didn't lose any of my leaders. That's always important to check. Did lose 2 archers, 2 Vele, and a Hastade, but I can live with that for killing off that, so that's fantastic. All right. So we're going to go ahead and call it here. This is a good spot to call it. We do have a warlock that's kind of ranging through. That's going to be annoying. But as long as he doesn't take this, I'll be happy because we're going to continue to get these maenads. As you can see, they took this iron bog for me, which gives me an extra iron. And they'll just go out and take things, including things that they may have already taken from us. So that's just free troops for the rest of the game as long as nobody steps on this. So hopefully that's the case. But yeah, we'll return next time. Daily videos, so definitely keep checking the channel to keep up on what's going on with this playthrough. But we'll do everything we can to show off what we can do, and we'll start powering up and start controlling more of our local area. So as always, if you enjoyed the video, please like, comment, subscribe, and I will catch you guys next time.